Stroke can be a devastating event in a person's life and can often leave significant challenges for the survivor as well as their family. That is why one organization focuses solely on the needs of those survivors and their caregivers.
We're going to learn more about the Stroke Resource Center of Southern Arizona and hear about some exciting news they have about an upcoming event. Welcome Dr. Leslie Ritter and stroke survivor Michelle Prince to the show. Ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Doctor, let's kind of start out with just something very broad and explain what a stroke is.
A stroke is similar to a heart attack. It is a sudden event that leaves an injury in the brain and can actually leave a person, unfortunately, with some devastating challenges, for example, weaknesses on one side or the inability to talk, and some emotional challenges as well. So it's something that we first and foremost want to avoid, but second, and the reason for the Stroke Resource Center, we want to make sure that when people come home and live with their stroke, that they have some place to turn for information and help.
Absolutely. So if we think that we might be having a stroke or a family member, a loved one, what do we do?
Oh, it's a great question. You need to call 911, and the ambulance services will know to take you to a stroke center. We're very lucky in Tucson. We have 5 primary stroke centers in Tucson, and so it is of utmost importance to get to the hospital and let the experts figure out what it is they need to do. We don't need to do that at home.
I think that's the best advice we can give today to our viewers. And Michelle, we did say that you are a survivor.
Yes.
Kind of tell us your journey. And I know we're going to be talking about a camp upcoming, and you've also been to a camp of this type.
Yes, I have. I had a stroke 4 years ago, and I was currently working. I was a school bus driver with a local school district, and I was in the middle of my afternoon route, and I was overcome by a sensation where I lost the usage of my left arm and leg. And I had stopped back by at work to see what was going on, and obviously my supervisor wasn't quite aware of stroke symptoms or side effects, and I continued to do my afternoon route. Turns out the next day I still hadn't gone to the hospital, and so the next day I went to the hospital and I was diagnosed with having a stroke. I've overcome a lot of challenges. I've had to adapt to circumstances to make progress. And through my going through the internet and finding everything out about stroke that there is for young people, I came across the stroke camp, and it was strokecamp.org, and it was Refresh and Retreat, and they have a camp up in Prescott, but this year they're going to actually have their first Southern Arizona one here in Tucson. So we're hoping to gather people from all over Bisbee, Sierra Vista, Tucson area to attend the camp, and it's a great opportunity.
Absolutely. I know that camp starts on May 20th. So let's talk about why would you recommend this to stroke survivors and their caregivers?
It's a great opportunity for people to come together, and it allows the stroke survivors and caregivers to realize that they're not alone. And there's such a community of stroke survivors together. We're very strong-willed, we're very determined, and it really inspires and motivates other stroke survivors along their journey and path, because no stroke is the same and no journey in recovery is the same either.
And Doctor, I know that the Resource Center is very proud to be a part of this and to bring it to Southern Arizona. Tell me also beyond the camp, where can we get more information from the Resource Center?
So we are a virtual resource center. We are a website where you can find information about healthy living, about the risk for stroke, about durable medical equipment, all of that kind of information that can support people once they get home. And we're hoping to create this community of stroke survivors and their caregivers through our resource center. You can find more about the camp on our website. The website is SOAZ strokeresources.org. Click on, when you enter that site, there'll be a link for the Retreat and Refresh Stroke Camp. The registration form is there and all the information you need. And likewise, there's a telephone number specifically for the camp information on that website.
Great. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm going to review all of that again. For more details about stroke resources, including the camp starting on May 20th, log on to SOAZstrokeresources.org.